Hi everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can derive and then apply the quotient rule for differentiation. This is when we have one function of x divided by another. So I showed you in my previous video how we can use the product rule, and we're going to differentiate this using the product rule. So the first thing we need to do is move this v to the top. So we'll have y will equal u multiplied by v to the negative 1. So using the product rule, dy by dx will be the u term multiplied by the derivative with respect to x of a v term plus the v term multiplied by the derivative with respect to x of a u term. So dy by dx will be u. When we differentiate v to the negative 1 with respect to x, we get minus v to the negative 2 dv by dx plus v to the negative 1. When we differentiate u with respect to x, we get du by dx. To tidy this up, I'm going to write the positive term first, and I'll write this term as a fraction. So dy by dx will be 1 over v times du by dx minus this negative here, 1 over v squared multiplied by u dv by dx. Now I can put these two together with a common denominator. So I need to make this fraction of a v squared. So dy by dx will be v over v squared du by dx minus u dv by dx over v squared. I'm going to pull out this v squared term. So dy by dx will be v du by dx minus u times dv by dx, all divided by that v squared term. And this is the quotient rule of differentiation. This allows us to find the derivative when we've got one function of x divided by another function of x. In example 2, I'm going to show you how we can use this. So we're given this is the equation for y, and we need to show that this is dy by dx. So we need to begin by identifying our u and v terms. The u is the numerator, so this equals x squared. So du by dx will be 2x. V is the denominator, so 2x plus 7. So dv by dx will just be 2. We'll substitute them into the quotient rule, so dy by dx will be v times du minus u times dv, all divided by v squared. We'll tidy up our numerator. We can factor out the 2, and we can factor out the x. So dy by dx will be 2x. We're left with this 2x plus 7 over the v squared term. Okay, this is what we were asked to show here. Let's try question 3. So do you want to give this question a go yourself? We're given y as x over the square root of 2x minus 1. We're told that x has to be greater than 1/2, because if it was equal to 1/2, we would be dividing by 0, which is undefined. So we need to consider these limits. Do you want to try and work out dy by dx and then find the coordinates of the turning point? You can pause the video and come back when you're ready. Okay, so welcome back if you had a go. If we let u equal the x term, so du by dx will equal 1, and we'll let v equal the denominator, 2x minus 1. I'll write this as a power. So dv by dx, using the chain rule, will be 1/2 of 2x minus 1, taking away 1 from that power. Now we need to find the derivative of this inner function, which is 2. You can see this half and this 2 will cancel. So dv by dx will be 1 over the square root of 2x minus 1. Now we'll substitute the u term, the v term, du and dv terms into the quotient rule. So dy by dx will be v. I'm going to write this as the root of 2x minus 1 times du, which is the 1, minus u times dv, which is 1 over root 2x minus 1 over v squared. And when I square this v, the square and the square root will cancel, so we've got 2x minus 1. We can tidy this up with a common denominator, so we get dy by dx will be 2x minus 1 minus x over that common denominator of root 2x minus 1. And this is divided by the 2x minus 1. So we can simplify this as x minus 1 over root 2x minus 1 multiplied by 1 over 2x minus 1. So dy by dx will be x minus 1 over 2x minus 1. Here we've got the power of 1/2. Here we've got the power of 1. So when you multiply these together, we get the power of 3 over 2. So this is the derivative. We can find the coordinates of a turning point when we set dy by dx equal to 0. And this is convenient because when we move this denominator to the left-hand side, we multiply it by 0 and it goes. So 0 will equal x minus 1. So therefore, x must equal 1. And then to work out the y value, we'll substitute 1 into here. So y will equal 1 over the square root of 2 minus 1, which is just 1. So x equals 1 and y equals 1. Okay? Let's try one more question. So in example 4, we're given this equation for y, and we need to show that this is dy by dx. So do you want to give this question a go yourself? Okay, so if we let u equal sine squared x, then du by dx, using the chain rule, will be 2 sine x multiplied by the derivative of sine, so cos x. The v term is e to the 4x, so the dv term will be 4e to the 4x. So using the quotient rule, we'll have v times du minus u times dv all over v squared, e to the 4x squared. Now we can write this 2 sine x cos x using the double angle formula. This will give us sine 2x. I'll bring this 4 in front, and we'll have e to the 4x again, all divided by e to the 4x squared. Now we can simplify this. We can factor out the e to the 4x and divide it by one of these. So dy by dx will be sine 2x minus 4 sine squared x over e to the 4x. And that's what we were asked to show here. Okay? Well, thank you for watching. I hope you found that useful. If you want more practice on this topic, you can download the worksheet and view the online lesson from my website, mrmathematics.com. I'll leave a link in the description below.